Welcome to the Hatfield Township Board of Commissioners Workshop Meeting Agenda. This is February 25th, 2026 meeting, and it's right now 6:35 p.m. Call to order. Roll call.
President Lestracco.
Here.
Vice President Partha. Commissioner Andrus. Here. Commissioner DeLessio.
Here.
Commissioner Zipfel.
Here.
I'm going to start the Pledge of Allegiance and ask, Chief, would you do us the honor? Actually, and Carmina, and I'm sorry, I don't know your name. And Robel. All three of you, please start the Pledge of Allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. I like to surprise people with the Pledge of Allegiance. I know. Okay, we're going to do approval of the agenda. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner DeLessio, second by Commissioner Zipfel. Was it? Okay, Commissioner Zipfel. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. We now have citizens' comments. Any comments, you can come to the podium and please state your name and address for the record on agenda items. No? Okay. We're going to head to consent items. So we're going to put these into the record, to enter into the record. Board of Commissioners meeting minutes from January 14th and January 28th. The Treasurer's report from February. The bills payable. Paid bills were $54,440.06, and unpaid bills $565,496.35. Do I have a motion to enter these into the record?
So moved. Second.
Motion by Commissioner Andrus, second by Commissioner Zipfel. Do I have all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. We're going to move on to special items, and we're going to start, if it's okay, for the North Penn High School African American Alliance Club presentation. Thank you so much for being here.
Where's Justin?
I'll find it, Carmina.
We'll get it up.
It's a PDF.
I got you.
Okay. Oh, good.
Or I'll full screen, and then you can take it from there.
Thank you.
Here you go.
So, oh, Lord, Jesus. So good evening. I am going to move around because I want to be able to see this. So this month marks 100 years that they've designated as Black History Month. So it's really special that we're here tonight, that I'm dressed in garb, all spirited. What I wanted to do before I introduce the students is to put things in perspective. I'm a Wissahickon graduate. I started 6 years ago a Black Hall of Fame ceremony for Black alumni at Wissahickon. And this year is really special because we dug deep on our own Black history. And I wanted to share that with you because it's county and then this, and then it'll make sense when we open it up to him. So, on the next slide. So this gentleman right here, his name is Martin Kilson. He grew up in Ambler, and He's a 1948 graduate of Ambler High School, and he went on to be the first Black tenured professor at Harvard University. And that's history, right? Because they never had a Black tenured professor. And then he also established the first African American Studies Department at Howard. In this book, this was his first book called A Black Intellectual's Odyssey. And he talks about, in his first 5 chapters of his book, his childhood in Ambler and how that shaped his intellectual trajectory after that. And he mentioned in the first 5 chapters about one time of the year that the community members of Penn Lane and Ambler, which were primarily Black at the time, could go to a public park in Montgomery County only one time a year. And because of the Jim Crow laws, they were only allowed to go to one time a year. So I went and I found a picture of it. And this is the pool that was established by the county commissioners in 1939, but in the 40s and 50s, this was a public county pool, and Blacks were only allowed to go there one time a year. At the time, it was called Millside at Upper Perkiomen Valley. Today, it is Green Lane, But this is what it looked like. And at the time, why it was such a big deal for the black community to go there one time a year was that it had this big, massive pool. It had a roller skating rink. In the wintertime, it had an ice skating rink, but blacks couldn't go to that at that time. And what I found fascinating about that is I didn't know at one point the county had a public pool, like a county pool. Like nowadays, we all have our own pool, right? You have your own. But at that time, it was a really big deal. This picture right here, I am from Lower Gwinnett. I am from Penland. And the Wissahickon School District is now made up of 3 municipalities, Whitpain, Ambler, and Penland. In 1923, this was the only school that was segregated amongst those 3 communities. This was the Penland School in 1923. This woman here, her name is Miss Helen Moore. She was the first teacher of the Penland School, and she was the last principal. It closed down in 1955. So from 1923 to 1955, there was an only segregated school. Only black children could go. These were the Penland students. This was a picture taken. Right there, 2 black women. This is the class of 1950. The lady standing is my mother. The one sitting is Miss Martha Moore. This is the 1950 picture, the class picture of the only 2 black students that were in National Honor Society in 1950. And why I'm showing you all of this is because I have uncovered, I didn't even know that was my mom. I also recently found out that in 1950, my mom was president of the senior class. And I was like, how did she pull that off? Because her vice president was a white male student. And so when we think, I've been reflecting on that. My mother also, not that it's about my mom, but both of these young ladies went to that Penland school as children up until they were in 8th grade. And then they went on to Ambler High School. And though Miss Martha and my mom went through grade school, high school together. They both were on the field hockey team. They both were on the basketball team. My mom ended up getting inducted into the Wissahickon Sports Hall of Fame 41 years after she graduated from Wissahickon High School. So tonight really is about honoring our roots, strengthening our path, and shaping our future. And because of that, we have a young man that is exceptional. He's a Hatfield resident. He is a junior at North Penn, and I think he is the best demonstration of the hope for the future and the shape for the future. So I just wanted to point that out because look at where we were. Look at where we were in 1939 and 40. We had primarily a segregated public pool. I was blown away, and I'm really glad I wasn't born during those times because I don't know what I would have done. But one of the people that we're honoring this year at the Black Hall of Fame said it took people from Penland and Ambler to Upper Perk in an hour. And on their ride, and even when they got into that park, they were still called niggers upon arriving at that park. And so the strength that black people had to maintain during all the criticism, all they wanted to do was have a family picnic at a park in which the county they lived in. And so when you hear this brilliant young man talk about why Black history is important and what they did this month at North Penn, I think it will give you hope and give you confidence to invest in young people today, certainly from North Penn and certainly from Hatfield. Mister, I'm going to leave this up while you talk. Oh, I don't know, fix it. Oh.
Good evening, Hatfield Commissioners, officers, and members of our community. But before I get started, it said African American and Allies Club. We recently switched that to Black Student Union in order to extend more to the Black diaspora instead of just African Americans. You guys can hear me okay, right?
We can.
Okay. So my name is Robel Casahoon, and I have the honor of serving as the president of the Black Student Union. When we chose the theme, Unapologetically Black, for this year's showcase, it wasn't about being loud. It wasn't about being political. It was about being honest. For many of our students, Growing up in Hatfield was meant learning how to balance pride with caution. It has meant loving where we live while sometimes wondering if we fully belong. It has meant representing not just ourselves, but often our entire culture in classrooms, on teams, and in public spaces. Unapologetically Black is our way of saying we are done shrinking ourselves. It means not feeling the need to change the way we speak to be accepted. It means not feeling like our hairstyles, our music, our traditions need to be explained before they are respected. It means understanding our history, both the pain and the power, and choosing to stand tall anyway. But this theme is also about community. The Black Student Union exists because we love this town. We want to contribute to it. We want to lead in it, and we want to serve in it. Our showcase is not about separating ourselves. It's about inviting everyone into a deeper understanding of who we are. Hatfield is our home, and like any home, growth comes from conversation, trust, and seeing each other clearly. Now, there have been moments in our country, and even in communities like ours, where relationships between Black communities and institutions have felt strained. Now, we can't afford to ignore that history, but we also can't grow if we only sit in it. Our generation wants something better. We want respect, we want partnership, and we want to feel safe and seen at the same time. When we say unapologetically Black, we're not rejecting our town. We are part of Hatfield, and we want to continue building it together. Because when Black students feel empowered, the entire town benefits. Confidence turns into leadership. Pride turns into achievement. Belonging turns into investment. This showcase is a celebration, but it's also a bridge between students and adults, between history and progress, between who we've been and who we can become together. One thing about us is that I know we are unapologetically Black, but I also know we are most definitely unapologetically a part of Hatfield. Thank you so much for your service.
Do you guys have any questions for him? When he makes reference to the showcase is what they did at North Penn to honor for their peers. And this year they didn't do it at night, they actually did it during the day, so they have more participation. Look, Robel, you want to say, does anybody have any questions for Robel? Yes, Carl?
Hi, Robel. What do you
Yes.
plan to do after you graduate from North Penn? Do you have a focus area for college?
For college, well, I really like history, and then maybe after that, I'm interested in law and just politics in general. It interests me.
What's your dream school? What's your number one?
Well, my dream school is Stanford University.
Oh, wow.
So excited. His sister's at USC, so it'll work fine. You guys can focus. Anybody else? Any questions for Robel? I just think it was really awesome how he personalized it to Hatfield.
Yes.
You know what I mean? He is your resident. He is your constituent. And what I hope to do is, in terms of bridging the gap, bringing adults and stuff together, I really want to work with Jen and your board to do some civic engagement with a generational civic engagement program. I am a Civic Saturday Fellow from Citizens University, and we have a new program, community program that we want to do. It's called Power Plus Character Equals Citizenship. And I think it's just a really good way to just bring people together and make it relevant. So I sent some information to Jen and Aaron, and I just think it's a really good time, especially on the heels of your awesome chief of police. Just saying.
Yes.
So, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you both.
Robel, thank you so much. Yep. Okay. The next on our agenda is the state of the judiciary, and that we're going to have District Judge Honorable Edward Levine, thank you so much for coming.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We got the clicky thing.
Oh, here it is, sorry.
That was my clicky thing.
I thought you were going to click away.
All right. Well, thank you very much. Thank you for having me. It's been a while since I've been here. I missed you guys.
Thank you for coming.
Well, you're welcome. I haven't done this in about 5 years, so this just is my way of updating you about what's going on in the court, how busy we are, what's been happening. It's a lot of numbers, but really it's a lot of updates on what the court's going through, especially here in Hatfield. So I'm going to start it out by at least demonstrating to you what my portion of it is, and it's already kind of off skew. I don't know why that is, but as you can see, my district is 38-128, encompasses all of Towamencin Township, all of Lansdale Borough, and then I have 3 of the 5 wards in Hatfield Township and all of Hatfield Borough. So roughly 60 to 70% of Hatfield that we know of, the town, 60% of the township and the borough. And that's the area I cover. I put that little purple line down there to show the other portion. I don't know why it's off a little bit, but whatever. So this is off too. The population. I looked at the census totals, and you guys probably already know your own census totals. What I did is I took the census totals for all the district courts, which isn't really out there. You have to kind of calculate different wards and different townships. And what I've come to find that District 38-128 is the 5th largest district, or no, the numbers are off. I don't know why that is. I'm not a tech guy. Anyway, as you can see, the population in 2010 increased in my district court in that whole entire area by about 6,000, which is the 5th largest increase of all the district courts in Montgomery County. Pretty substantial increase of 11.5%. Hatfield Borough had a 6% increase in population. The way I calculate the township, again, 60%, so wards 2, 3, and 4, a 7.5% increase. Towamencin, a 2% increase. Lansdale increased 30% in population from 2010 to 2020. That is the largest increase of any municipality in the county. So we've had a pretty large boom, at least my district court and Hatfield, in population growth. So the people are there, and here's some of the inside the numbers that I found. We had a population increase of 5,966 people. That is the largest total population increase of any of the districts of the 29 district courts that there are in Montgomery County. And some of those encompass some pretty large areas. The district court also had an 11.5% increase in population, which was the 5th highest increase. Just so you know, Upper Merion had a 15% increase in population, and East Norton actually had a 6.5% decrease in population. And then in 2010, we had the 3rd largest population of any of the district courts. We were behind Judge Leonard. Judge Leonard is Whitpain, Lower Gwynedd, Upper Gwynedd, North Wales Borough, and Penland. And that was only slightly ahead of us. And then Judge Katzman, which is Lower Salford, Upper Salford, Franconia, Skippack, it's a massive area, and that's 71,000 people. So it is a huge court. Now in 2020, the new numbers came out. We're still the 3rd largest district, but we've almost caught up to Judge Leonard's court. We're only about 1,000 behind her, and Katzman again increases to almost 74,000 people. So pretty large court, large population. That'll come into play in some of the totals that I'll show you later on. But I think it's interesting to see that. Now, I looked at those totals and I tried to at least develop a crime rate as to all the district courts. I think it's fair to see that, just to see, well, how much crime are we getting? What is it compared to the populations? How busy am I versus all those things? So I developed it versus number of crimes that come into my court. So these are crimes from Lansdale, Towamencin, and the portion of Hatfield that I have, divided by 10,000 people. So it gives sort of a rate per every 10,000 citizens in the district. So what I found is we had 504 total criminal cases in 2016, which was the 9th highest amount of criminal cases. But again, we had the 3rd largest population. So it's actually kind of interesting. We had the 9th highest total, and our rate was 110.3 crimes per 10,000 citizens, which was the 9th lowest crime rate. So that goes to the significance of the police and the community that we have here, that we have a higher total of people, we have the 9th highest total of crimes, but our crime rate is actually very low. Now in 2024, I took our new number. We had 333 total criminal cases in 2024, which now is the 12th highest amount. So we've actually decreased in criminal cases in my court. The population has grown. We've had lower numbers. Our rate went down to 64.4 per 10,000 citizens, which is now the 7th lowest of all the district courts in Montgomery County, a 41.5% decrease in crime rate, which is a pretty good decrease. Now, we had the 4th largest decrease in crime rate of all the courts, and just to give you sort of a gauge, Judge Saylor, which is the northernmost outskirts by Boyertown, he had a 45.6% decrease, and the largest increase, I don't know why this is, but is in Narberth, which includes Ardmore. I'm not sure how that happens. I think it's pretty much they have 80 criminal cases a year, and then they get 100, and all of a sudden that's a big bump. So that's down in Narberth. Next slide. Highest crime rate, just so you know, all the 3 Norristown courts, 479.1 crimes per 10,000 people. That's significant. Pottstown's also very high. The lowest crime rate is out in Jenkintown of 40.1. So you can see we're pretty close and adaptable with Jenkintown, and things are going really good in this area. So based on the 2020 population that I have of Hatfield's crime rate, 53.8. So I devised that from the 79 criminal cases that I had come in, divided by the population that I estimated at 14,680. And the crime rate in 2015 was 90.1. So we've actually had a 59.7% decrease in the crime rate here in the community. And that's attributable to Chief Tierney and the police department, and they've done a great job. And it's attributable to the community itself. You know, you get a new generation of people here, people that want to do well here. So things are good in this community. Now, one of the things I just wanted to show, just total overall numbers, just so you can see trends over the 10 years. Again, these are the total cases that we've received. This includes traffic, non-traffic criminal cases. It's jumping up there, kind of increasing, but then COVID hits and things decrease, and a lot of things decreased across the board, not just in the county, in the state, in the country, and decreased, and we've kind of flattened out to 843. Total criminal cases also kind of rose and then creep down to 84. You can see the numbers there on the bottom, 79 and 79 this year. Again, these are just numbers, and that is only a portion. Hatfield also has that 40% that I don't cover. So I don't know how much stuff he has. I don't know how much the total is. I can't tell you what the cases are. Could be all DUIs, could be all domestics. That's more detail than I have for you. I could find that out. I don't know the substance of those, but either way, the criminal cases have gone down. Non-traffic's all over the place, but you got to understand non-traffic can be things like ordinance violations, and that can be part of what the non-traffics are. So some years you might have enforcement that's a little more, you know, hey, there's ice on the sidewalks or people aren't mowing their lawns. Other years you might not have that. Total traffic cases went up, and then they've gone down. But again, traffic and all of this, it's very nuanced. There could be lower traffic because there's a presence out on the street. There could be lower traffic because you're not giving as much parking tickets. One of the things I want to point out is that Hatfield is very different from Towamencin and very different from Lansdale. They are completely different areas, as you guys know. Lansdale's very urban. They have a train station in there, larger population. Towamencin is pretty much rural. You have the turnpike up there. And then you have Hatfield that has 309, and that 309 corridor has a lot of stuff. You have a lot of traffic coming down, speeding from there, and things like that. So what the traffics are and how much they are, it's not specific as to any doing any less or any better. It's how it's enforced and the numbers we get. One of the things, I don't know why the slide skipped on me, or why the slide wasn't in there, so I'm just going to pause it on this, is some of the changes to the court. I had this in my prior slide. I don't know what I did with this slide. I just want to tell you about a couple of changes that aren't in the graphic. Pretrial services. So what happens when somebody's arrested? They have to have bail set. They have to have an arraignment. In 2022, the county changed how we do things. So it's important to note that in 2022, instead of all the arraignments during business hours coming in front of me that are Hatfield, Towmenson, or Lansdale, they now are done at the county prison. And each judge, there's 29 of us, is on call 1 day out of those 29 days. And we do the arraignments for the entire county. So no longer do you have the local judge doing local arraignments with the local law enforcement. It just doesn't happen anymore. Now, one would argue, well, the judge knows the community, the judge knows the officers, the judge knows what's going on. He's got a lot of familiarity. You want a judge who knows that community to set the bail. The counter to that is the judge knows the officers, he knows the community. It creates a bias. So I think in general, I think it's a better practice in terms of no bias. You have nothing out there. Most of my arraignments are not Hatfield, are not Towmenson, or not Lansdale. I'm doing it for the entire county. Now, also the change with that is that when you do the arraignment, before it was probably an officer coming in giving a recommendation as to what he thinks or she thinks bail should be. I kind of talked to the defendant. Sometimes I would get a criminal history, sometimes I wouldn't. And you're just kind of going off the cuff as best you can. Now, when a person is brought in for an arraignment, they are vetted by pretrial services. Now, pretrial services is not bail modification. They don't really deal with bail. What they deal with is criminal history and failures to appear. And they give a score assessment based on those things. And they just tell me, well, on a scale of 1 to 6, this person didn't show up a lot. He's a 6 in FTAs, failures to appear, but he's a 2 in terms of criminal history. Or it could be vice versa. This guy's got a rap sheet a mile long, shows up, but I have to make a judgment or at least an assessment of whether they'll show up and what their history is. This is good because it gives me all the information I need. But the other thing is, during the arraignments, there is a DA arguing on behalf of the Commonwealth, on behalf of the community, and there's a public defender arguing on behalf of the defendant. So you have a much more fair process. Now, I'm not saying it's perfect or not perfect, but it is a lot of information coming at you. And I know you guys had an issue with one of the bails set last year, and I get that. And I'm not defending or not defending, but there's information that we don't get when we do arraignments. We don't get to see a video of what happened. We don't go through what is going to happen in the preliminary hearing. But that being said, I think the process worked because, you know, the chief and the Commonwealth said that bail is inappropriate. You filed to modify, and fortunately nothing happened, and within a day or two, that bail was modified and changed to something which I think was more appropriate. But either way, that's the system that we have. And also, when we do set bail that is secured, say a secured bail where somebody has to post money, it goes to review the next day in front of a common pleas judge. So there's oversight for that as well. So that's pre-trials. Now, the other thing we have now is, since pre-trials started, we had a public defender come in for most preliminary hearings, at least the people that were arraigned through pre-trials. Never had a DA, and now finally in the last 2 months, we've had DAs coming in for all preliminary hearings, which I think, and Chief could tell me, I think it's a big relief, it's a big help to law enforcement, because police officers, they're police officers. It's hard for them to ask them to be lawyers in front of us, especially for some of the domestic cases and things like that. Now they have the assistance of the of the ADA's office coming in, having these hearings. So I think it's much more fair and much more balanced, and I think it's better overall. And it makes court more interesting. So if you ever want to come in, you're going to see more arguments. And actually, I would urge the public watching tonight to come in and watch arraignments, because you will learn a lot about the arraignment process, and there's a lot of information you don't see on North Penn Now and you don't hear about in the affidavit. There's a whole lot more going on. Sometimes there isn't. Sometimes it's pretty much spelled out and it is what it is. But sometimes it isn't. So I encourage people to view the arraignment process. Right now, arraignments are all done via Zoom. We do have court watchers. So I would say if you're interested in watching arraignments, give my court a contact, send us an email, we'll vet you, and I'm happy to share the link and have you watch me do arraignments and see how that goes. Anyway, back to this. This is just overall numbers. Again, Towamencin, Lansdale, totally different things going on. Lansdale has, these are just criminal numbers, but basically Lansdale and Towamencin and Hatfield have different populations. They have different issues. And Lansdale has a more condensed population and more people coming in via the train and all of that. But again, I don't know whether a lot of the ones in Lansdale or Hatfield are DUIs or domestics. There could be a lot of different things. Here are the non-traffic totals. Lansdale was crazy in 2017, but things have kind of balanced out. And again, these numbers for Hatfield are not including Duffy's portion, so the numbers look a little lower. That's just what's in my court. And here we have traffic cases. Again, the numbers are what they are. Lansdale is higher, but Lansdale also gives out parking tickets, a whole lot of parking tickets, and their numbers are probably going to go up. The interesting thing is the highest total of traffic cases in the county is down in, I think, Narberth. Yeah, I think it's the Narberth area. 9,000 tickets last year, or 9,000 traffic tickets. I have to think about 6,000 to 7,000 were parking tickets. It's insane down there. But that'll skew the numbers. And it'll look like, oh my God, they got a lot of traffic going on down there. No, they have a lot of parking tickets. Total cases, again, that could include traffic tickets, non-traffic, things like that. And you got to remember, Lansdale also enforces a lot more ordinance for snow removal on sidewalks because it's a little more congested, things like that. Landlord-tenant cases. So this is where it gets interesting. We also deal with landlord-tenant in the district court. The red is how many cases we have in my court. We have the third highest population, but we have a huge rental population. And that includes Hatfield Village. That includes, everything in Lansdale. There is a lot of rentals. The bracketed numbers are how we are compared to the rest of the district courts. I am always consistently in the top 3, top 4 in the county. And the interesting thing is, a court like Judge Katzman, which is the 70,000 population, they're not high up there in landlord-tenant. Judge Leonard's not high up there in landlord-tenant. I think down in Cheltenham, Judge Sursky has a high one. Upper Merion has a high landlord-tenant population. So we are busy, and it just keeps increasing, as you can see. Although it went down a little bit, but it's high numbers. Civils, I didn't have the number over there in the blue for the average, but we average more civils as well. I will let you know, civils are probably about 80% credit card debt cases. And it just keeps increasing. They are coming after you for not paying your credit cards. I have one of the higher totals again, but this time population is sort of an indicator. Katzman has a lot, Leonard has a lot. When you have a high population, the odds are you're going to have a lot of people that defaulted on their credit cards. So that's just the civil case number, and that's really where we're the busiest in terms of volume compared to other courts. And then weddings. I do weddings. I'm happy to do weddings. Anybody want to get remarried or you were married, Aaron? You're married. I am. Okay, well, gosh darn it.
Thanks for asking.
Things have went down since COVID, but they're kind of picking back up. I miss those days, but I'll do a wedding anytime, anywhere. It's all fun. And finally, well, that's it. I guess, I don't know, something's up with my slides because there was a picture of my dog who comes to my court every day and all of that. So I got all of you guys. Any questions or comments?
No, I think it's great that the ADAs are coming to the prelims now. That
Oh,
takes
yeah.
a lot. That takes a lot off the officers for sure.
Oh, totally. And and some cases that wouldn't have normally gone through are going through. And it's helpful, no doubt.
I'm sure it creates a whole lot of efficiency for you and your decision making. So that's great to hear.
Absolutely. Anybody else? All right. Well, I appreciate it. Thank you guys so much.
So you're a judge? You're a magistrate?
Yeah.
So do magistrates always go to, well, I know, but I'm just reiterating, but do magistrates go to supervisors meetings?
No, I haven't done this in 5 years. I brought it back because it's been a while, but I feel like we should update the public as to what's been going on, how busy my court is, because people don't really know what's happening there.
I think it's excellent, and so
Yeah.
as a Montgomery County resident, I just want to thank you for making this overture, and you set the standard.
Yeah, thank you, and come on by anytime. We need new lawyers, so I've got plenty of interns from North Penn High School. Thank you, guys.
Thank
I really
you.
appreciate you letting me come here. Happy to do it again. And thank you, Chief Tierney. I just want to say their police department's doing a great job.
Yes.
Very respectful, very punctual. It's just a pleasure not working with them. They're coming into the court, but they've always been great in our court. All right?
Great.
We got a question.
Thank you.
Oh, we have a question. Hold on. Yep, no, we got to get him on the mic, please. That's okay.
Okay, I just want to know, since you're a judge, if I'm going to break the law, which law is the most fun to break?
Ooh, that's a good question. I don't know. Public drunkenness is always fun at the time. I don't know. That's a ball game call. I have no idea. Just don't break any of them.
Yeah.
Keep yourself cool. All right. Thank you, guys. I got to head to Talamenson
you.
and do this over there. I hope my slides
Can we
aren't.
get a quick photo with you and Carmina
Sure.
and Rubel and the commissioners?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. I would like that, if it's up to him. Chief, could you be in the photo as well? We were talking about crime, so.
There you go, strong connection, leadership. I think
And leadership, absolutely.
No, I hide.
I was going to bring that up too. I should have. Oh, it's like a black sign. You should bring it. Ask Sandy. Come here, Ted. Tom, ask your neighbor. She will.
I feel like a shrimp.
Jerry, how about you on this side? We're a little offside. We good already? Take a bunch. We're sure a crowd chief out of this. It's good. It's great. Thank you, guys. I gotta head over to town.
You did not.
Got proposed to tonight?
You turned a little pig, like, where is he going with this?
How do I answer this call?
Notice none of us were jumping at the remarriage.
This is enough.
Yeah, thought that too, or he has someone in mind. Okay. Thank you for taking that time. All right, we're going to move into action items. Letter A, HTMA 2027 budget. I'm going to hand that over to Aaron Bebro, and that's for Resolution 2603.
Thank you, President Lustracco. As you know, Commissioners, we had Pete Dorney, our Executive Director from the Sewer Authority, here last meeting to present the budget for HTMA for the 26-27 budget. There's a typo there. Just for the community's sake, it does include a 5% increase is being proposed. However, Pete did outline 2 weeks ago that even with the 5% increase, the HTMA fees are still, I think, in the lower 15% of authorities throughout the region. So we all know they do a great job of managing expenses and providing a great service to our community. Possibly the most essential service, one of certainly.
Agreed. Okay. Any other questions about this resolution? Okay. So I'll take a motion for the approval for Resolution 2603. Do I have a motion? So moved. Moved by Commissioner Zipfel and second by Commissioner Andrus. Is there any discussion? Okay. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, it has passed. For the next section, I'm going to call on Brian, but I'm going to read it first. This is turn 14, maintenance period, 18 months, and this is Resolution 2604. I'll send it over to you, Brian, to talk about it.
Thank you, President Lestrade.
Thank you.
So this is a simple one. The Turn 14 project, we had certified it as complete, and at this time, all of the respective documentation and funding has been provided by the applicant. We have Resolution 2604 for the board to approve. That will effectively complete the project and begin the 18-month maintenance period.
Thank you. Any questions from the board? Okay. So I will ask for a motion for approval for Resolution 2604. Do I have a motion?
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Andrus, second by Commissioner Zipfel. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. It has passed. For the next, the letter C, this is the purchase of a police vehicle for $61,741, and I'm going to send this over to Aaron Bebro to discuss.
Sure. Thanks, President Lestracco. This is our budgeted capital purchase for the police station. There are other vehicles that will be purchased as well throughout the year, but this one in particular will be the first and only at this point electric vehicle added to our fleet. This is a Ford Lightning. Thanks to Scott Hutt for all of his work in getting the EV station up and running. That will be done shortly for the police station. Also, we do have two other EV stations, one at School Road Park and one at Clemens Road Park that Scott worked on, so appreciate his effort. And Chief, I believe we'll be taking delivery of this vehicle in the next few weeks. And we'll be able to use the electric that is generated from our solar panels on top of our canopy in the parking area of the police station, and an exciting new era for Hatfield PD.
Thank you so much. Okay, so I'm going to take a motion for purchase of the police vehicle. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner DeLassio.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Zipfel. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, it has passed. For the next one, letter D, grant application for Schweiker Park improvements. That's Resolution 2605. And I'm going to send this over to Aaron Bebro just to give us some information about that, please.
Sure, thank you. And it looks like our purple ghost is back on the screen here. Let's hopefully, oh, there it is. We thought we had it fixed, but apparently not.
There it is.
Yep, it missed us. Commissioners,
That's okay.
as a lot of you are aware, we co-own Schweiker Park with Hatfield Borough. It was purchased jointly many years ago through a grant with Lansdale.
Lansdale Borough?
What did I say? Sorry, I'm used to
That's
saying
okay.
Hatfield Borough. Lansdale Borough. It's located on our border, right between the two municipalities, Schweiker Park. The township has owned the property with the Star for several years now, and we're going to be moving forward this year with the demo of that house. That was already in the works. It was already planned. However, we thought it might be a good opportunity to acquire some grant funding just to help us with the project. Just to give you another view of the property. Over the years, when softball tournaments were being played, parking was at a premium. We heard a lot of complaints. So we did, several years ago, the commissioners purchased all of this property, and we did install this parking area in addition to the main parking area. So it seems like the parking issue isn't as urgent as it was several years ago in talking with our colleagues in Lansdale. So at this point, this grant would be through the county, the Monco 2040 program, which would help fund the demolition of the house. And then what we thought made sense here initially was to add some bike repair stations and some signage to help promote the Liberty Bell Trail, which in Lansdale is being built at if this orange section is what Lansdale is currently working on. So Schweiker Park is right here where the number 3 is. So Lansdale is working on, and as you recall, 4 or 5 years ago, we partnered with Upper Gwynedd, Franconia, Lansdale, North Wales, all of our neighboring municipalities to plan jointly the route of this Liberty Bell Trail to connect through all of our communities. The county considers this trail regionally significant, is what they call it. So a lot of the programs that we can put forth for funding is usually looked at favorably because it is considered an important trail connection in our region. So we're working on the blue section, which the commissioners received $1 million grant a few years ago to build the portion behind the giant Snyder Square Shopping Center, which you see highlighted in blue. We're currently planning the yellow section, which is the Schwab Road area. So the goal is to somehow build this to connect to what Lansdale will be building, which is right here, then it'll go through into the borough. Here is the area of our park where we thought we could tie in some feature that would help, because anytime you can attach to this Liberty Bell Trail, the people giving out the money look at it very differently. So the demo needed to be done. We thought, let's package it into something that works for the borough, works for the township, and we'll get, we're applying for just shy of $100,000, which will pay for about 80% of the project. So that application goes in the next few weeks, and it's a pretty quick turnaround for the Malco 2040, so hopefully we'll hear something within the next few months.
Aaron, is this a joint application with Lansdale or just solo?
At this point, it's supported by Lansdale. However, the cost will be just the township.
Okay.
The plan with Lansdale is if one day parking becomes an issue again, that we'll partner on building the additional parking. But just the demo and this is going to be the township.
Thanks.
Sure. Thank
Aaron,
you.
are we paying for the demo, or sometimes we get union helpers who are trying to learn a trade who come in and do some demos?
We have had many apprentice programs over the years. At this point, I'm told that is not available to us right now. So we would be, if we get the grant, then we'll be bidding out this project to see who is the low bidder for the project.
Excellent. Any other questions about this improvement plan? Okay. So I will call to question. So we need a motion first for the resolution 2605. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Moved by Commissioner Andrus.
I'll second.
Second by Commissioner DeLassio. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, it has passed. Okay, for our public hearing, we're obviously postponing that, and our conditional use application for Pulte Homes is also postponed. So I'm going to send it over to a solicitor's report.
All is well. Nothing to
Okay.
report.
Thank you very much.
When do we anticipate Pulte coming forward again? Do you have any idea?
Well, right now, we're scheduled for March 24th, right? That's our, but we'll see. We're going to run another ad. We're not going to send letters out again, but we'll probably post the property, run another ad. But I told the lawyer for Pulte that I would let her know before I send it to the paper. They're paying for the ad. It's a big ad. It costs a lot of money. So I said I would check in with her to make sure that she's ready for March before I run that ad. So right now, they're saying March, but things can change. So stay tuned. Aaron, you have a list of letting people know. And
We have a list of the majority of the neighbors that we've been staying in touch with. We also have on our homepage of the website an update on the application, as well as a link to the plan itself. So if anybody visits the website, they'll see when the next hearing is scheduled for. Try to
And if
communicate.
it's the 24th, we'll do 6:30 meeting for our meeting, and then 7 o'clock for Pulte?
Yep, just to clarify, it is the 25th, which is the fourth Wednesday of the month, and we would do a 6:30 regular meeting followed by a 7 o'clock hearing.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much. Any other questions? Okay. So with that, I will move to citizens' comments. Any citizens that would like to speak, please come to the podium, giving your name and your address. Any citizens' comments? Okay. If it's okay with the board, I'd like to make a citizens' comment. I wanted to thank our Chief Tierney, sitting at the end there, for your words of wisdom and respect and dignity that you had posted on Facebook. I really want to thank you for that. Many people throughout this county, throughout Bucks County where I work, have been talking about it, and I'm just so proud to live here in Hatfield and to say that you are our chief. And our Board of Commissioners received an email from somebody that lives in this area, and it was really profound, and I'm going to ask Commissioner DeLassio if you would read that email. We're not going to state their name, but it just really spoke to us and resonates with us. So we're going to read that, please.
Okay,
Thank you.
Thank you, President Lestraka. Okay, so this is a few sentences long, so bear with me. Dear Hatfield Council members, we're commissioners, but I just wanted to reach out and let you know that Hatfield clearly has a police chief who is a professional and understands his duty to protect and serve. I hope you all recognize Chief William Tierney as a leader and a model of excellence in law enforcement. Where many people could have been quiet and ignored bias and hatred, he spoke up. This is an extra difficult thing to do from a position in public safety. His humanity and bravery are noticed, and he's a model for everyone in law enforcement and municipal government. I teach college, and many of the classes I teach are public safety administration classes, and I'm now including the chief's response to the vitriol in my case studies on excellence in public safety leadership. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much for the recognition, and it's just something I do. Try to do my job.
We appreciate it, and it made our township better. It made our township residents feel better and feel safe and feel connected. So thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
Well
And
done, Chief.
proud of you.
Well done.
Appreciate it.
Okay, any other citizens' comments? Okay, hearing none, I'll call for adjournment. I need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Okay, moved by Commissioner DeLacio and second by Commissioner Andrus. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, we are adjourned.